to mess y'all up the thing. Okay,
it's going to adjust when he changes it anyway. So,
oh, that's right. That's right.
What's happening, people? You've got the most sexy group of comic nerds on the planet. Again, 4 brothers. I don't know what y'all can do with us. And we here to break down episode 3, Loki. It's the living legend, Larry. It's the big homie, B. Avery, down there. And the new homie joining the Life Games team for one night. One Take Big Dog. Fellas, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Blessed
doing it.
That's right.
I'm looking over there at the I'm looking at that superhero family. What they call that one family that Disney did, the Pixar joint?
The Incredibles.
We have the Black Incredibles over there.
Yeah, we're the Blackables. That's right. We the Blackables.
We just need one more to fill in that spot.
That's right.
We need one more to fill in that spot over there.
And we also had to get the dog in here too. We're gonna have to get the dog with the
there
cake.
You go.
We're gonna have the whole thing up in here, but it is.
You already have the car of the future, so you guys, all you need is a dog and one more. You're good.
That's it. Yep. Whoa, man! Stop putting them children on us so quick. Let us get used to this. I just caught that. So, fellas, they gave us an episode that it wasn't action packed. So if you were someone who loves action, you might have been disappointed. But you did get a lot of dialogue. You got a lot of storytelling this episode. And I'm interested to get you guys' initial opinions of the show. So Larry, I'll start with you. And then One Take, I'll come with you. And B. Avery, I'll finish with you. Larry, what was your quick thoughts on this episode?
To be honest with you, I was not at all disappointed by the action in this because I thought the hand-to-hand combat right off the bat was fantastic. All the fighting in the TVA and when Sylvie was running up the walls and doing backflips and all that, and then the fight scenes, the more hand-to-hand combat fight scenes on the train that was all fantastic, man. I was actually loving this. I was loving this episode for the action.
Okay. One Take. I can't wait to hear this. You already giving me the smile from ear to ear. So I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to listen and I'm going to take notes. So One Take, give me your initial quick thoughts.
Listen, I like it, but at the same time, I feel like this is the lesser of the 3 episodes and probably one of the lesser of the MCU episodes as a whole.
What?
I enjoyed certain elements. But overall, I think they kind of let me down a little bit because they have so much more. I really feel like they should have given us with a dialogue-heavy driven episode.
It definitely was dialogue driven. I mean, you got to have a knack for that. I feel what you're saying. It was definitely dialogue driven and dialogue driven between 2 characters. B. Avery, give me your quick thoughts on how you felt about this episode.
Yes. Quick thoughts. I guess I'm kind of going to split it down the middle just a bit because while I disagree with you, sir, as far because you said it wasn't that action packed, I feel like there was a lot of action in this episode. You had hand-to-hand combat, and you had meteors and asteroids coming down like bombs in the sky, bombs over Baghdad. But then kind of like Larry. He said that, he enjoyed the hand-to-hand and the flipping off the walls. I do agree with that. But at the same time, I got to echo where One Take Big Dog, because while I did like the hand-to-hand combat, overall, I could sum this episode in one word: disappointing. I mean, my goodness gracious. I was let down by this. I was like, bro, I was ready and prepared to wake up at 2 a.m. to watch this movie and upload my reaction just by myself real quick. But I slept on my alarm and I woke up at 3. I watched the episode. By the end of it, I was like, what? Is that it? And I said, I'm going back to bed, man. I don't feel like recapping this, bro. I was disappointed, man. I was let down. Now, I have seen it twice. And the second time I did like it a little bit better. I wasn't as frustrated on the end. And I was just I'm not saying that the episode was garbage. We're gonna talk about it because we're gonna get specific. But overall, man, I was disappointed, man. I'm like, Marvel, y'all tripping. The first 2 episodes I had was better than anything that Falcon, Winter Soldier, and WandaVision did. But then this one right here is a huge step back. But yeah, that's my initial thoughts.
See, you guys have your expectations all high now. Now you're expecting every episode to be those first 2 episodes.
Hey man,
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, for me, the action was a dial back this episode, but I actually found myself, and I'm not a guy who normally cares for too much dialogue. I actually think they should cut more of that. I actually found myself enjoying the dialogue between these two. I normally don't like that. I'm like my wife. My wife hates movies where 2 people get stuck in the elevator and they got to figure out how to get out the whole damn movie, or they kidnap you, throw you in the trunk. You're trying to figure out how to get out the damn trunk. My wife hates it, and I normally don't like it either. But I actually like this one, and we're going to certainly break it down. But let me shout out the loyal, and when I say loyal subscribers, that not only follow this channel, they don't watch B. Avery, they don't watch E-Man, then they channel hop to Pairway, and now they decide to come and share some of that good love with us.
Yes.
We got Zia in the building, Cashmere in the building, Strictly Starlight, Sloppy Ninja, Stephanie in the building, Coop the Bully, Car Bro, Alex, my big homie, D-Weave, Stephanie. The whole crew is here. We're going to try to break it down. We're going to give you a few little Easter eggs that I found. A lot of people said they saw a lot of Easter. I didn't see that many, but we'll see what we can do. So, fellas, let's open up with a scene that I thought was significant. I got 2 scenes for y'all today. One of them, I'm paying Larry a tribute, because when y'all watch us, y'all know the wild man from Tennessee that throw all kinds of shit on the wall, hoping it stick, is usually Larry. Well, you know what? If you throw enough glue on the wall, a fly gonna get stuck in it sooner or later.
Don't hate on me for being right. Don't hate on me for being right.
He actually got something right, ladies and gentlemen. But let's take a look at this real quick. This guy, boy.
Well, I did take quite the tumble.
You asshole. You killed us.
Maybe we can fix it.
You're not a serious man.
You're right. I'm a god.
You're a clown. You got drunk on the train.
I'm hedonistic. That's what I do.
I'm hedonistic. A lot more than you, I assure you. But never at the expense of the mission.
Oh, the mission? The mission? What, your glorious purpose? Give me a break. You can't beat them.
I'm not gonna give no woman jokes, because I could, but I'm not gonna give no woman jokes. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna just say she was very frustrated, and she used her magic to exude that frustration. Now, on the low, I was right about a couple of things too last week, but hell, I'm right 75% of the time, so I don't feel the need to talk about what I got right. So we're just gonna go ahead and start with Larry on this one. So Larry, the opening scene, they give you the backstory of what happened with C20, and you've decided not to call her Loki anymore. You're calling her by her government name. So she's basically telling you the backstory of what she did with this enchantment to get C20 to divulge the information on how to get to the golden elevator. And they have a little cute scene about brain freezes and what may have you. Break down the opening scene, my brother, and how did you like it?
Yeah, this was really interesting to see how she like drew her into a comfort place where she was able to get her to talk and feel like, you know, she was really confused, thinking she was someplace way back in her other life and having a good old time. And it was funny though, because apparently C20's mind is very, very strong, because she even said for some people, most people, I can just get right in there and take over and do what I want to do. She's like, but for other people that have stronger minds, she was like, I have to sort of maintain contact with them, and then I'm in there, but they're there, you know. And so, and she also, you know, I want to know what happened to C20 more, because she talked about how her mind was all convoluted and messed up, and so, you know, obviously there was some stuff that must have gone on Earth where it caused her to really be messed up, you know, to when the TVA took her. So, I mean, obviously she's a variant, but obviously something happened. I want to know what happened to her, because her mind didn't get jacked up for no reason.
Right. So one take, I'm going to come to you. but I'm gonna go ahead and give Larry his kudos. Larry was the only one that said last week, damn, Mobius is a variant, and possibly everybody is a variant. And this N-word got it right. Lord have mercy. Go buy a lottery ticket, Larry, because you got it right. But Big Dog, as Larry was saying, she is a variant. And they let us know that everyone who became a variant done something to cause a Nexus level event. Break down the conversation between these two and what you thought.
Now, I really enjoyed this, but I think I didn't have enough details to later on in the episode when Sylvia pretty much talks about how power works. Because in my mind, I initially thought this was just simply her manipulate her into thinking like of a life that she had. I never thought that at first. I didn't think this was real. This was something from C20's past. I thought it was just all made up from Sylvia, and that she just pretty much she gave C20 like this illusion. But when she says like, "Yo, I pulled from a memory that you had," that pretty much changes everything. Because of course we all thought like, you know, the Minuteman and the TVA, everything was created by the Timekeepers. Once we find out that this person and all of these people are variants, and like she's basically putting on our heartstrings a little bit, that changes the entire show. And now I give you this, Lamont. You always had your theories about the Timekeepers. You didn't trust them from the get-go. This pretty much like solidifies that whole theory right there, that like, you know, they crooked and there's a lot going on. Like that whole cartoon that we saw, throw the whole thing out.
Yeah, they can't be trusted.
Get it out of here, man. Get it out of here. See, that was another one of those 75% I got right. B. Avery, I'm coming to you, my big brother from another. William Lawrence gave me the $4.99 because he be sharing our videos. We appreciate that, my brother. We try to keep the channel very diverse, even though it causes us to creep in growth. We're comfortable with that because we know we're helping y'all make a difference. B. Avery, what did you think about the opening scene? And do you want to see more of C20?
Actually, this, you know, while I said I was let down, this was disappointing, I was actually very impressed with this right here, as far as them displaying how the enchantment works to a degree. I kind of have to agree or echo what One Tech Big Dog was saying at the very beginning when he was speaking, and well said, sir. I didn't really have enough information to put this together to see exactly what was going on. And to be honest with you, as soon as the scene was dropping, I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, I didn't recognize who these people were initially. It took me a while. It took me a while to be like, oh shit, that's C20. Oh snap, that's Sylvia. You know what I'm saying? I think it was when they stripped it to black. And you know, me watching Earth Mightiest Heroes that's on Disney Plus right now, you know, we get a little bit of Enchantress in there, and she be doing her powers. I was like, damn, the way that it shifted from daytime to nighttime, that's exactly how it be on that show or in the comics, where they be like, wait a minute, something ain't right here. You know what I'm saying? Somebody playing with my mind. So that was the first thing I thought about right there. And so the intro was fire, and then we get the shot of them at the mall, and you know, she's actually, you know, you can actually see what she's physically doing, and they remind, okay, yeah, this is just a different perspective from episode 2 or whatever. So I do like this. She was just, you know, hey, you know, how we found the Timekeepers, you know, that's dope. Yeah, I love the intro. That is that I did like.
Yeah, B. Avery. Things I mentioned last week about what I thought was going to happen this week. I told you I didn't try to pick on this young lady, but I tried to highlight she had dreads. And I tried to highlight that they was focusing a lot of camera time on her for a reason. I even mentioned that this could be a love interest for Sylvia, which we now know likes men and women, because they mentioned that, and we'll get to that later on. And when I first saw the scene, I said, damn, boy, you get 75% right. And then
Loki alluded to the fact that he likes men and women too.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. But see, we know that because Loki, in the paperwork they got for him, they got him gender fluid. And in the comic lore, he switches between men, women, horses, donkeys. He's been some of everything. So hell, you can call him Una. He could be Una animal. So and I'm gonna move on. I don't want to get too caught up in being real nerdy, but the dad rides on a 3-legged horse. Do y'all know how that three-legged horse came about? Loki.
No.
Loki transformed himself into a damn unicorn and had sex with a horse.
Hold on, a three-legged horse or a six-legged horse?
Six-legged horse, excuse me. Six-legged horse. Three in the front, three in the back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Throw it off.
Yeah, man.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Loki a little wicked, ain't it?
Yeah, Loki's something, bro. I mean, me and B. Avery, we follow the comic books. I mean, we follow the cartoons hard. I follow the comics a little bit, pretty decent, and I follow the cartoons real hard too. And we see these in all these different spin-off Marvel does of these shows. So that's why me and B. Avery still calling Sylvie the Enchantress. So we ain't ready to call her. We're not ready to call her Loki, Sylvie. We ain't ready to call her none of that just yet.
The Enchantress.
She's the Enchantress. That's how we know her. So now I'm coming to you one take. Okay, so we get beyond that scene. Another prediction I gave y'all was that Enchantress wanted to mess up the timeline to get everybody out the building of the TVA so she could go do something. And I think we all pretty much said that what was going down last week. All right, so she gets in there and she's looking for the golden elevator. And this is when Loki walks right in behind her and they get ready to start having a fight scene. Break down that scene where Loki pops in, they're fighting. We see Ravonna pop up. She tries to get him and couldn't get him. She was actually wanting Sylvie to kill Loki. So I'll break that scene down for us, big dog.
Okay, first of all, the thing I loved about this scene the most was the score that accompanied. I thought that was great during it because, like, one, I think Larry alluded to it. What talked about it earlier was like the fight and Sylvia flipping guys and taking guys out, and the fact that I think something that was highlighted in this is that we don't like kind of go like people kind of skip over it a little bit, is the fact that she realized she can use her powers here as well. And when she realized that, she had to improvise, you know, and use the disintegrating sticks on people, and she using those. And another thing I think made a lot of people happy is Loki gets his daggers back, and then he pretty much confronts Sylvia and is like, "Yo, trying to help you. What are you doing here?" She's like, "Yo, I don't need your help." She's going to this golden elevator. My whole thing was like, "Hey, you're at the elevator. It's not." And then when Red Slayer pulls up with the other two Minutemen, I'm thinking to myself, you're at the elevator, you can get out. Like you can press the elevator, you can go to where you need to go. You have enough time. Because you made fodder of the other men that you fought. You have Loki right there. And he also wants to see the timekeepers. So and if anything, you might have to have a Captain America or Winter Soldier fight in the elevator, but that's about it. So that whole scene was really, really good, and Rich Slayer wanting her to basically kill Loki, that eliminates somebody else that she's had to deal with and didn't really trust from the get-go. But I kind of felt like she took too long, and they was out here. I was about to say a word that it was not the word I needed to say, but like they was already playing around.
Hey, brother, you're free to use whatever language you want to use on this. This is not a PG channel. This is a rated R superstar channel. Rated R superstar.
Gotcha. I had pussy from the ride, and I'm just thinking to myself like, yo, y'all gotta get moving. So, but I really liked it. Like I said, I think it was heightened by that by the back and forth between the two, because that's one of the highlights of this episode is those two work so well going back and forth with each other, and the score and the action. I thought this scene was probably one of the best ones of the episode.
I agree with you. And y'all's boy Elliot taught me something new and taught me how to say it with panache. The score. The music of these episodes. I've been itching to use that word, and I'm gonna use it tonight. Damn it! I love the score too from the very beginning when they were showing Loki's green banner, and I love that. I love the whole thing. I enjoyed that part too. But now, B. Avery, I'm gonna swing it to you, my man. How did you like this scene? What was your takeaway from it?
Just echoing what you just said. Yes, I did love the score. It was fantastic. I even said earlier tonight that there's a YouTube channel that is dedicated to just different scores on new releases.
What?
And they got about 3 of them for Loki, and I'll be jamming it in the car. You know,
Are you serious?
I'm just so serious.
Man, you're gonna have to send me that.
I'll send you the link, my brother, as soon as we're done. You don't even got to say nothing else. I'm gonna remember. So I'm liking that, and I'm liking the fight and she flipping off the walls and stuff like that. But however, the golden door scene when she's at the elevator, that did frustrate me a little bit because I'm just like, man, you like. Things are moving so fast, you know. Like we pick up from, we got a great intro scene. We picking up. She's coming through the port. I'm like, you know what? That's right. She was bombing the sake of timeline to cause chaos, but at the same time, she just trying to empty out the building to come in and get some files or something or whatever, you know. And that's exactly what she's doing. I'm liking it. Loki getting his daggers. That's cool. He looking like a badass. You know what I'm saying? Walking down the hallway, just bam. You know what I'm saying? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You know. And so, but then they start playing patty cake at the elevator door. I'm just like, man, go on through the goddamn door. Shit.
Man, it was bro.
Later on, we talking about this took years or whatever. Y'all want to flex on each other. Like, man, ain't no way in hell. Like, I'm getting through the door. Like, she done worked so hard, and I'm just like, what are they doing? But I like that Renslayer came through there. You know what I'm saying? She was just like, nah, what's good? You know, and they started fighting and all that. I like that. But yeah, then they disappeared. But I was just like, man, like one time Big Dog was saying, y'all need to get through the door. I'm trying to see the plan. I'm trying to see this plan play out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to see.
Be every ready to see who is the real wizard behind Oz. That's what you want to see, because that's all this is. Who, and first of all, okay, let me let Larry go before I interject what I want to say. My brother Larry, go ahead and get in there. And Be Avery, by the way, because you will understand what I'm about to say. I went to the gym today. I hit a new PR, and guess what the hell I was listening to?
What's that? This right here?
No.
What's
the
that?
Score from Black Panther.
Yeah, bro, I got one for you.
The ancestors came and helped you. That's what that was.
Bro.
The ancestors were on both sides.
Yes, I got a ton of scores that I can send you to work out with, bro. You finna be Superman.
Let's do it. Be Avery. I turned it on. I had on my headphones that cover my Bluetooth that covered my whole ear, and it was $225 for a standing shoulder press. And
I love it. I love it.
And I went in there, turned that music on. Maybe the dun, let me go. And I just let that shit go.
Y'all just don't understand this type of information I'm finna bless this dude with. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't understand. I'm swear this dude next time he gonna be swallowed in the hole. Oh man! Like I can't wait. I got playlists, multiple playlists, bro. Man, come on.
Let's get it, man.
I got you.
Okay, I'm with it. Big Larry, what'd you think, man? This is one of your scenes right here, my brother.
Yeah, man, I love this scene. I thought this was great, not just because of the action, but I felt like it really revealed a lot about Sylvie. I don't want to call her Loki because she seems like a fake Loki, you know? Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think it revealed a lot about who she is, and if we have to call her a Loki, the type of Loki she is, because Loki is supposed to be the god of chaos, and she's not. She's all about order and the mission and keeping things on track, where Loki's just sort of like freeballing it, you know?
She's like Larry. They talked about how he never has a plan. He never has a plan.
Not only does she want a plan, she has rules for how plans are supposed to be. Plans are supposed to have specific numbers of steps that you follow. She's very orderly. She's not chaotic at all. Even in the way she fights, and where Loki's up there fighting and leaving people be. Like, he's knocking people out, throwing people against walls and leaving them alone once he feels like they've been sort of incapacitated. She's straight killing people. She's running through there, pruning folks left and right. She's basically saying, I have a goal that I need to get to. I want to make sure nothing stops this orderly plan that I have. So she's just pruning people left and right, where Loki's knocking folks out and leaving them be. And then they may come back up and he's like, you again? Knocks them out again, you know. But you can tell just by her fighting style how she is very, very different from Loki and his whole chaotic, you know, sort of mindset. She's just very orderly.
She tough, man. She tough. You guys covered everything I wanted to say during that scene. Big Dog and B. Avery, y'all noticed the part that I was gonna gripe about. Man, get through the damn door, man. Like, come on, man. Just get through the door. You
Strictly Starlight said Sylvie ain't the real actress and the actress's real name. I'm calling her Sylvie because that's what she called herself when Loki called her Loki. She said, "Don't call me that. I'm not a Loki anymore." We'll get to that part, but she called herself Sylvie.
She doesn't want to be called Loki. She made it clear she don't want to be called Loki. But I'm with y'all, man. Get through the door, man. Just get through the damn door. It ain't make no sense, man.
Move the story along, please.
Well, okay, well, fellas, we about to diverge now because Loki gets a hold of her and they go somewhere else. Loki takes them. Now, there's parts of this I like and there's parts I didn't. So Loki takes them to a little planet that's getting ready to crash into a moon called Lamitus. Now, Lamitus is Latin. Lamitus is Latin for reveal. And the theme of the whole reveal was Loki and Sylvie was lamenting to each other this whole entire episode. They was basically telling each other's backstory. In essence, Loki was trying to win this chick's trust. That's what he's trying to do. She really don't care for him. She wants to be done with him. But through this dialogue, they start winning each other's trust. And one other thing I want to tell y'all what's special about this particular planet. B. Avery, there was about to be a cartoon made based on the whole story. Limitus is a Kree planet. Okay? A Kree planet that was in a huge war, and the savior of the planet was this dude right here named Quasar. And the series in particular, yeah, this dude. Can you see it?
That's not a dude. He has breast.
That's a chick all day. That's a chick all day.
Look, I'm telling y'all. Here's another picture of Quasar. Y'all see that?
Okay, now that's a man.
Okay. Now the story.
He said, okay, I know what I'm talking about. Okay.
I mean, look, I'll just let y'all do what you do. But I'll let y'all do what you do. But the planet is a Kree planet. It's a Kree planet, and Quasar actually started out with the Agents of the Shield. And the way he became Quasar is because he got the quantum wristbands that he was trying to protect from AIM. And when he put them on, it revealed all these cosmic Quasar-style powers. And he got summoned from a cat on another planet who died that he wanted to save. And basically, he stepped in and was doing the role of Captain Marvel until she got kicked in the bucket in the Annihilation Conquest. And later on, Quasar in the Annihilation Conquest, which deals with the Kree, was killed by guess who? Annihilus. And Sylvie mentioned Annihilus a couple of times in this episode. Am I saying Marvel put that in there for no reason? Nope. They put that in there for a reason, but it's too early for us to get Annihilus in this whole thing.
Question. Is Annihilus that cat to be hanging out in the negative zone?
Every now and then, yes. That's one of them. He's one of the cats that be in that negative. If you can recall, he looks like Ultron with wings. Yeah. Look like Ultron with wings a little bit. Yeah. So, but I can easily see they giving us that story, and all the writing on the walls on this planet was Kree. So if you saw any of that stuff, this was all Kree writing. But I said all that to say, B. Avery, how did you feel about them getting stuck on a planet, learning dialogue in an apocalypse where a moon is about to crash into the planet?
I was kind of conflicted with this because while I wanted a bunch revealed, I can understand that they really couldn't talk because as soon as they landed and got stuck, rockets and meteors and boulders are coming crashing down from the sky. However, some inconsistency for me is when they first landed, that is happening, explosions everywhere, but they go into that little room and then they come out and then it's not coming down anymore. You know what I'm saying? It just, that doesn't make sense to me.
B. Avery ain't playing with Marvel right now. B. Avery is done. He ain't playing.
And I even said earlier on my live, man, I was like, look, I ain't never experienced, me being on Earth and a moon running into us to know exactly what happened. I just kind of want to come to. I just want some consistency here.
Mhm.
But just me as far 2077. That's crazy as hell. I just wanted them to start talking, and I didn't like what they were talking about. They weren't talking about the right things. But I don't want to spill the beans too early, so I'll leave it at that for now.
Okay. Jump on in there, living legend.
Yeah, I was actually okay with them not having the stuff falling when they left that mining shaft, because I kind of looked at it as what was happening was sort of like a meteor shower of sorts, and then just like with any kind of shower, any kind of rainfall, there's it ebbs and flows. So there's times when there's a whole lot of it, and then times when it sort of slows down. It's sort of like if you're in a restaurant and it's raining, you're like, let's wait till it slows down before you run to the car.
Larry,
that's how I kind of figured at it.
Larry, this is an apocalypse. This is a moon hitting the planet. It ain't gonna be no slowdown in the debris breaking up.
Man, sometimes
this is a moon. Larry, this is a moon hitting a planet. There ain't no such thing as little small meteor showers.
It's just rain. It's just a little rain, y'all.
It's just a little rain. That's what it is. Just a little rain.
My man Larry talking about a drizzle in a damn moonstorm. What?
A moonstorm, damn.
Oh God,
it's just a little rain. That's all it is.
Oh my God.
Rain. Little moon rain.
This dude, man.
Oh,
One take, jump on in there, man. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I just gotta say this. Okay, y'all saw the show this week, right? The moon is literally this close to Earth, looking like Pac-Man and shit. And it's breaking apart all over the place. And Larry is calling for a little drizzle, just light little drizzle.
It's a little moon rain. That's all it was.
One take, get in there, man.
Other than like the moon rain comment, I don't know about that, but oh man, I really have to say the one thing that constantly helped this episode for me is the dialogue between the two. These two may not necessarily see eye to eye. As a matter of fact, there's times where they absolutely despise one another. But the fact of the matter is, they are really good at conversating with one another as well. Like they constantly talk, because Loki actually was doing more talking, something that you don't normally see him do, which I all think is like a ploy on his part. But like the dialogue between two always had something that you can grasp onto, and like that elevated even more as the episode progressed.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I said, for me, the best part was the dialogue between the two. Actually, it felt like Marvel was trying to unzip all the different things that they have put into this show in terms of elements we had questions about. We was getting a lot of answers this episode. Now, there were some times, as much as I say I liked it, there was time when they got a little goofy for me. But overall, I enjoyed most of the dialogue between the two. So now, Larry, we're swinging right on back to you. So they intimate that of all the apocalypses, all of them, this was the worst one. This was the absolute worst one. And as they're having that dialogue and they're talking about things, the whole premise of what's going on with them stuck on this apocalypse is Loki done took the time pad and it's out of energy. So they've got to go get something with quantum energy.
Out of juice.
They got to go get something with quantum energy to facilitate this thing getting back in order. Larry, talk about them and their quest to try to get this thing working again. And then they get their ass shot on the way to the train station by some old lady. What kind of gun did she have? Jeez.
Yeah,
man.
Well, what's funny is that I didn't know they needed something with quantum energy. I just thought they said they needed like a large energy source. And I was thinking, the thing that I first thought of is when she got all upset and got all hysterical and just screamed and had a big blast of magic. I was like, that might be enough to power this thing.
No. She was mad. She was mad, but she ain't got quantum energy. She need quantum energy.
And I was like that, whatever that lady has, that might be enough to power a little bit of it too. You know,
That's what I thought. 'Cause
you know,
did y'all see the way that gun knocked them back like a football field?
Right.
Yeah, it blasted them.
Bro.
It knocked the internet. It knocked the magic right off of Loki.
It actually did.
Man, boy, I don't know what y'all have for breakfast today, but boy, y'all in rare form today. Oh man, my big dog, take the wheel, my brother. How did you feel about Loki getting the time pad? They searching for energy, and then the exchange with the old lady. Loki thought he was smart. He thought he was smart.
Loki always gonna have those tricks up his sleeve. It's just he played it too wrong. Like, you're literally standing right there next to the door. You let her see you. You walk back another way and enter from another spot, so she can't just blatantly see through it. Also, talk to her just a little bit. See what her husband used to be like, and then form yourself off of that. He just went right in thinking everybody had such a wonderful relationship. He got blasted as he should have. But one of the things that was weird to me was how unprepared Sylvia was, which doesn't necessarily fit what we've seen from her thus far, because thus far every time we've seen her, she's been steps ahead of everyone. Now she has a time pad and she runs the battery with her. Like, I get the one thing I can probably chalk it up to is the fact that, hey, she was pretty much done because she was at the TVA and she was about to go up the elevator. So she's like, it doesn't really matter. But she seems like somebody who was always prepared for so many different situations. And in this episode, I think it pretty much just showed that, like, she's not, I think we gave her too much credit, because I don't think she's as far as ahead as we all predicted.
Hey, that's a good theory, that maybe it got depowered because she had made it to where she needed to be at. She had got to the TVA. Maybe she, this is it. And then Loki comes and throws a fly in the ointment. I'm going to kick it to you, B. Avery, but I'm going to say this. Ain't nobody on TV ever been more prepared than my boy MacGyver. And Sylvia ain't that prepared either.
MacGyver could make an F-15 out of bubble gum and duct tape, boy.
Bruh. Who you telling?
Including missiles, guns, everything. He do a whole plane out of nothing.
If she would have had MacGyver on this planet, they would have been back to the TVA.
Oh yeah.
MacGyver would be like, I need some duct tape, a water bottle, a pair of fingernail clippers, and that chewing gum that's in your mouth. Give me that. That dude would make up a helicopter and fly everybody off.
They would have been gone. Jump on it.
Yeah, kind of saying one time Big Dog was saying, that kind of makes sense that, it really didn't matter because she already made it to the elevator. But also, to contest that, I was also kind of thinking that since she was out of juice, maybe like how many times you use it, however much energy is used, is based on how far you go through interdimensional time and space or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that at the TVA time moves differently, but they went to year 277. What if that would have been like, I don't know, a 5,000 year gap from wherever the TVA is, so it takes more juice or something? I don't know,
right?
But that's just something that crossed my mind. But yeah, as far as them and all the dialogue and stuff as well, I mean, it's cool. They still just wasn't asking the right questions, and or at least Loki wasn't. And as far as the woman blasting them through the door, that kind of reminded me of Kill Bill Volume 2. Where she tried to sneak into the trailer, and Bud was right there and blasted her back, Beatrice back in the chest with the rock salt. That's what that reminded me of. That was a big ass gun.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of thought that Loki did okay. With him trying to, use his magic and get in there, but she wasn't, she was too smart for all that. It was funny though. It was funny, but yeah.
It was funny, B. Avery, but I was sitting there saying to myself, Loki, the only intel you have is the look of the person in the picture with her. You don't know what the status is of the person, And that played out because he said something that was sweet and endearing to this woman, and she blasted his ass on that. They must have had the kind of relationship where love for them was fighting each other every single day. And later on, Loki had a dialogue where he used love as a metaphor for a dagger, and we'll get to that in a minute. But that was an example of it, Loki. If you know that information, Loki, you should have known that, they could have hated each other but loved each other. But you know what? Like Larry said, he got blasted so bad it knocked the magic off his ass. And boop. my man went from white to green and back to white all in one scene. It was crazy. All right, B. Avery, I'm coming to you now, my brother. One take. I'm coming to B. Avery. It's B. Avery. So now we're getting the backstory of Loki and Lady Loki. And this is some more of that Kree writing that I'm talking about that's in the series. And we learned that Sylvie doesn't want to be called Loki. And as you can see, that's what she would prefer to be called. And as they're getting to know each other, they're talking about each other's parents. Loki talks about how his mom taught him the magic. Sylvie's impressed with how great his magic is, yada, yada, yada. And it even gets to a point where Sylvie, she ultimately tells Loki, look, I mean to overthrow and destroy the TVA and the Timekeepers. And she tries to enchant Loki. But here, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I thought they was about to do some freaky kissing, kind of like The Boys season 2, where they had Homelander with another Homelander. I thought it was gonna be one of them, B. Avery. But talk about that exchange. Talk about that exchange between Loki and Sylvie.
That's a lot. So let me start at the back. I thought they was finna get it on too.
See, let me tell y'all
something. Wait a minute, Loki finna smash Loki? Is that some type of masturbation we ain't ever heard of? Or something, that's kind of interesting. But I do like the fact that she tried to enchant him, but it didn't work. I liked all that he was just too much. His mind was just too strong. So that's kind of cool right there. But when you was asking about the exchange, they're talking about the mother. You talking about when they was on the train?
Yep.
Okay. That was cool for a little bit, but at the same time, it pissed me off. Because this is the time where Loki should have been like, hey, who are you? Where do you come from? Who is the TVA? How long they've been here? How do we stop them? What happened at the beginning of the time, the end of the time? What is the variant? What did they come? They should have been asking all these questions. Or he should have been asking all these questions. Now, this is what we talked about at the beginning of this recap. We found out that both of them are bisexual, you know what I'm saying? And that's that's okay already. But other than that, man, this dude, instead of asking questions, he want to get drunk and sing songs. And I'm like, that's dumb as hell. And that really frustrated me. Though. No, man. That is why would you? I'm so pissed about this in this episode or whatever. Now, leading up to this, how they did get on the train, I like to where he tried to use his powers, and then we got the dialogue to where it was like, oh my god, yeah, they're only letting the wealthy people on, or they're only letting the wealthy get tickets. The little classes and stuff like that. Tried to do the Jedi mind trick, and that got on there. So that was kind of interesting too. But I'm still frustrated, man, that he want to get drunk and sloshed instead of asking important multiverse level saving questions. So,
bro. What the hell is wrong with Asgardians? They all want to get drunk. I mean, you better be glad they don't use cars in Asgard or everybody be dead. Because Thor want to drink, Loki want to drink, the daddy want to drink, Balthazar want to drink. The only one who don't drink is the black dude they got standing guarding the damn bridge. I feel some kind of way about that. There. Yeah, man,
this is the perfect time for them to just sit down and talk and answer the questions that y'all left in the cliffhanger, because we want to know what's going on, but we don't know what's going on. We still, it was revealed later, but that's still not enough. But anyway,
I feel you. They could have went in greater detail. That would have put a bow on this dialogue. I feel you. Yep. Jump on in there, Big Larry. Jump on any one of the sections you want to cover, from the conversation about the mom, to Sylvie saying why she don't want to be called Loki, to them about to have a makeout session. She's trying to seduce him. Look at her horn. Her horn is almost combing his hair.
So,
I think she knew what she was doing all the time. I think Loki was like, oh, wait, what are you doing? Like he thought maybe she was about to move in for it. And then when she didn't, that's when he was like, wait, what are you doing? Because he was already feeling some sort of way. Because when she said, you know, you just want to use me so that you can you can travel with the what's the little pad thing called? Whatever that little pad thing is. And she was like, that's why you saved me. And he was like, oh, yeah, right. That's it. Yeah, sure. That's why I saved you. You know, he was like, nah, he was like, nah, I saved you because I'm kind of feeling you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But how could he not? I mean, Loki is a complete narcissist. How could you not want to save you? You know,
Mm-hmm.
How could he not love her? Because he loves himself. It's just, I mean, of course he's gonna love her, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and likely if she's just as narcissistic as he is, just maybe manifested a different way, she's gonna love him too. Because how could she not? You know, to love him is to love yourself.
See, and I just something B. Avery said. One take, I hate to do it to you, but I'm gonna put the spotlight on you. Something B. Avery just said about this scene right here. I'm stuck here. B. Avery said he thought it was about to be some masturbation. Then I got to thinking, well, damn, they are the same person, just parallel universes. So if you touch yourself and she touches you, but y'all the same person, is that truly masturbation or with something weird? Take over one take. It's all you, brother. I put all that on your shoulders.
So here's the question, though. If you're married and you do that, are you cheating or are you just masturbating?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she says she with Mr. Postman, and Loki, he's got a man and a female friend all across the galaxy. I don't know, man. I mean, she says she in a long distance relationship.
All I'm gonna say, in my mind, I don't think it's cheating at all. I think it's simply masturbating. That's what I think it is. If you meet, I'm just saying, you meet a female version of yourself and they touch on you, that ain't no different from you. But we
a new meaning to the M in MCU.
We ain't gonna go into details on all of that now.
Man, somebody gonna get in trouble, man. Somebody gonna get in trouble.
You get caught with yourself is the same way as you getting caught with yourself. I don't see a difference. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But her trying to use her enchantment on him, and then us finding out how it works. I figured it wouldn't work on him. Also, this is like a typical part, but I do think she's working an enchantment on him, just not the magical kind. She's pretty much just getting closer to him. He's slowly revealing more things about himself. But at the same time, this is something that literally just came to me, and it can completely be wrong. I think all of this is a poor set off from Loki. The reason I say that, him pretend, I don't think he's actually drunk. I think it's him pretending to be drunk. Him getting kicked off is just a way for them two to connect more. Because if you go back and look, when he did the little trick with his hands, when he the fireworks, I think back to when he showed her the temp pad, and it had the little sparks coming from it. Now we've seen Loki be able to change how something looks. This temp pad could not be out of energy at all. It's just this whole exploration between these two is so he can get close to her, expose all of her secrets. I'm willing now. I don't usually have the 75%. Okay, I'm more or less about 12% right half of the time, so it's all good. I'm on the lower end of the floor.
Nah, bro, that's a fly ass theory. I love that.
I like it too.
I love that one.
I'm thinking at the beginning of the next episode is because we saw. I don't want to get too into detail, but I think it's that moment where Loki can really sit down and you think everything is over. And once you think everything is over, you have nothing else to lose. So you pretty much willing to like let everything out and let everything go. This is what Loki was waiting for. And once she tells Loki everything he needs to know, he'll simply show her the broken pad. Voila, it's actually fixed, and they go back to the TVA.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's a winner.
That winner chicken dinner, bruh. Because at the end of the day, I was gonna start some mess with y'all. I even titled this video, "Who is gonna save Loki and Loki from death?" And now that you done said that Loki's using his magic to pretend like the time pad is broke, that he's really got it in his back pocket somewhere, bruh. Hats off to the big dog. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Hats off to the big. That is a hell of a good one right there.
That is a good theory.
That's a good one. You saved me from going into all my little theories about who would have to pop up, how they gonna get off this planet that's about to die, and you saved me from having to do all that. That makes greater sense than the mess I was gonna put together.
Yep. I guess we're going to B. Avery next.
No, B. Avery went last time.
I'm not following that.
Oh yeah, you got. Oh yes, you are. Yes, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Yes, you are. Here you go. So as B. Avery alluded to, they're on this train. They're just talking their asses off, just talking. Just chatty Cathy, chatty Johnny, whatever you want to call it. And so Loki and both Lokis say they can't sit with their backs to the door like Malcolm X. And I'm just sitting here like, man, really? Neither one of y'all can sit with your back to the door. And then Loki says, look, there's doors both ways. They sit down, they have the dialogue, and Loki gets drunk, Larry. He gets drunk, and this is the conversation where we learn that they both, like men and women, she's got a postmaster general that I guarantee y'all we're going to see at some point in time. And I'm hoping they're going to show us some of Loki's friends. They may or may not do that. But we should have known from the jump about this, Larry, because in the TVA files, it clearly shows you Loki is gender fluid. So, Larry, break down this train exchange between the Lokis.
Yeah, first, I don't think that he was drunk. He said, when she said you're drunk, he said, nope, I'm full. And I don't think he was drunk. Loki has a tendency to not lie to people a lot. People think he lies all the time, but he often tells people the truth. They just don't want to hear it. You know, like he may tell somebody, oh yeah, I'm about to kick you in the head and stab you in the back. And then they'll be like, nah, this dude's talking crazy. Then he kicks him in the head and stabs him in the back, you know? But I think he told her the truth. And I think Loki, the way he's handling this, Sylvie is genius because, you know, people think, oh, you know, she's getting information out of him, she's getting the information from him. And, you know, he's telling her, oh, I think you know so much about me. I've been telling you so much about me. But here's the thing is that if you talk and you tell people and you volunteer information, people get to feel like you're giving them so much of yourself. But really what you're doing is only giving them what you want to give them. And if you make people feel comfortable with you, they start to tell you things that they want to know, that you want to know, that they sort of maybe don't even know they're telling you, or they're not ready to tell, but they tell you anyways because they're comfortable with it. Whereas if you just talk and offer stuff, you only offer what you want them to have, but they still feel like you've given them a lot. So I think Loki is just a little bit more clever in that way, you know?
Gotcha. I feel you. One take. Give me your thoughts on it.
Like I said, I think he just milked, well, pretty much with everything Larry said. I just think he's like, you know, pretending to let his guard down, just telling her everything. He needs her, well, he keep it on like a need to know basis, you know, so she feels more comfortable with him for the inevitable what happens later on. You know, and about the whole sexuality, somebody said something earlier tonight on B. Avery's channel. Is that Loki is one, he's a prince, and the fact that they have like aliens and everything. So the fact that he's like sleeping around with men and women, I mean, and like you guys mentioned earlier, he slept with a horse. So none of that actually is pretty surprising for Loki whatsoever.
Nope.
True.
Nope. B. Avery, jump on in there, my brother.
Let me ask you this, Brandon. Let me ask you this before you maybe conclude this in your thing. I know Zia Latrice said, "Why does Loki bi when he's already dead in the MCU?" Which I don't think the thing about being bi is really matters. But Loki's not dead in the MCU, right? We just discovered that he became a variant. Like they may think he's dead, but he's not actually dead. Like if he had followed his proper timeline, maybe he would have died. But because he didn't, he's not dead.
No, he's dead. He is dead. But because you remember, this story picks up in 2012. They got him then. So yes, technically he's dead. But if you follow the comic books and the cartoons, the way they bend the TVA, the timeline, and the way they have Earth 232 and all these different variants, technically he's not dead. So what I was answering to Zaya Latrice is, on any given time when you're talking about comics, they can bring somebody back because they have different ways to manipulate these various timelines. Jump on in there, B. Avery.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't consider him dead anymore, but that's just me. I think eventually, it may not be at the end of season 1. I think that'll be too early, but I think because we know season 2 is coming.
Probably because they love B. Avery. The others love this Loki show. They just in love with it.
And I think Clark Gregg kind of spoiled that already, but that could just be a rumor. But I eventually think that this Loki is going to catch up with our 616 timeline eventually.
I do too.
So he may have not done it yet, but because of that, I think I just consider him alive. But yeah, as far as all this stuff is concerned, great points about, it's no big deal. Even if it wasn't aliens, but they are smashing horses and blue and green people. So it's just like, what is a man if he's smashing 6-legged horses and all kind of stuff. But I'm just still frustrated because they talking all this and I don't know. It wasn't that deep to me. I didn't even think about all that as far as like who's manipulating who. I just thought this dude was drunk and he's trying to survive. And they both are. And so I'm just still frustrated that he wasn't asking the right questions, in my opinion, during this time. He was too worried about other stuff. So, like a romantic relationship, like he was trying to shoot a shot or something, like.
Let me ask you something, B. Avery. Do you think her guard was down enough to where she would have answered those questions?
Yeah. Because she did later on in the episode, she didn't have a problem, telling what it was when she was like, I think so. I think so.
I think Loki's sort of enchanting her in a lot of ways because they played that scene in very similar vein the way she did earlier with Hunter C20. It was like 1 minute it's daytime and they're sitting there, and the next minute it's dark, it's nighttime, and she wakes up and it's like she's sort of like, wait, where am I? Am I fully aware of my surroundings? She seems sort of off a little bit. And I think Loki is thinking, how do I get information? How would someone get information from me if they were trying to get information? I don't think he can just simply ask her. I think he's doing the things he needs to do to extract the information from her. I think he's going to get everything he needs and more. He's just not going to do it from sitting down and having a single conversation.
Mm-hmm. Now, I fully think he was drunk. He was acting drunk. She woke up, like Larry's saying, watching him getting slammed, hammered. But the next round is coming to you, One Take. In that whole exchange, Loki became a lush because he's talking all this stuff, and then this is the love is a dagger metaphor. They was having this discussion, and he made the dagger disappear and she tried to grab it. But then after you get that very somber, very low moment, they commence the fisticuffing, and Loki basically jumps out the damn window. Pick it up from that point, One Take.
From the point of the dagger or the point of Jim being outside the window?
From the point of the dagger. And let that dagger carry you out the window.
Okay. All right. So the whole dagger, like the dagger metaphor, I thought was really good. But then they tried to like pull back on, I don't know if it was for comedy purposes or what. But like the whole analogy and how he described it worked for that scene. And then it's just like, oh no, that didn't really make any sense. And she's like, no, not really. I'm like, I thought it did. Y'all played me. And so, the fisticuff, that was coming because Loki's acting drunk. But the guy who went and reported Loki, I don't know why, but he looked familiar. I can't. I'm probably wrong on this, but he looked like the guy that Loki was imitating earlier, just in better clothes, though.
Oh,
so I don't
be.
necessarily.
Yeah.
So I have to go back and look at that. But yeah, this kind of like knocks off my theory a little bit, just because he possibly was drunk and was getting some attention. But at the same time, you even said yourself, he threw himself out of the window. Like Loki is very, very powerful, and I don't think he wouldn't have a tough job. And we see later on in the episode, he doesn't have a tough job beating up these people. So I think this is just him furthering, trying to get Sylvia to follow him and build that connection.
Agree. But one take, it does kind of further your thesis, and I'll get back to that in a minute when we get back around. But it does further it, but we'll get there. B. Avery, talk about everything from the love dagger to the fight to when Loki jumps out that window.
The love dagger was interesting. That metaphor didn't work. Him jumping out going back, just like the fighting, I like that he used his magic right here. He did do some type of green key blast before he jumped out the window or was thrown out, so that was cool. But it was goofy at the same time.
See? I told you.
Avery killing it. He ain't playing.
Me and B. Avery did not discuss what we was gonna say about this review, and I already done used Goofy 4 times in this review. It has some parts to it.
I'm just one of these. It's just nothing is happening that I wanted. I want them to talk. I want them to chop it up and answer questions and get these answers. But it's just kind of goofy. He he was singing la 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 la.
No love. Behavior ain't cut no slack.
Oh, God.
Larry, you get the last word on this, my brother. Larry, clean up hit for us.
Yeah, I think all this was, having listened to one take, I think all this was probably orchestrated by Loki. I don't think he would have been thrown out that window unless he allowed himself to be thrown out that window. So I think he still needs more time alone with Sylvie, and the only way to really get that time was to basically get kicked off the train, because otherwise they get the power source they need, they end up back at the TVA, and he doesn't have time to find out what he needs to find out from her. So I think this was all just orchestrated from him. So
let me ask you this. Think about how this episode was, and like how it was kind of like on the I don't think any of us think this was the best episode of the season, right? But if you think if let's say my theory comes to fruition, would that improve this episode a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, B. Avery, I'm coming to you, but let me shout out Dwayne for the $5 super chat. And he is trying to enchant our mind. He says, about to blow your minds, Loki enchanted her, and the last 15 minutes of the episode was in her mind. And another thing, Loki got the time stone. Now, mind you, keep in mind, now, see, this is where the whole deception comes into play, because they've already let you know that everybody's a variant. So what other rules did they tell you that don't work? Now, we know Loki did try to use his magic in the TVA and it didn't work. But for all we know, that could just be in that particular building. If he was to step outside the building, he might could use it. We don't know everything that we know about them. We have to just say, if you got caught in a lie that big, everything else you said is probably a lie. So
we know his magic worked elsewhere, because when he went to that when they were in that supermarket in episode 2, he shook the water off of himself with magic.
Well, they said that his magic would work outside of the TVA. They said that, but I'm thinking it probably worked there too if he goes in the right place. I mean, we don't know what the truth is anymore with them, because I told y'all they full of you know what.
Yeah, they might just have some magic blockers, Plus, I think he was wearing that. I think he was wearing that. Wasn't he wearing that thing at the time when he was trying to use it? That neck band,
that collar. Yeah, he did have
collar?
that. Yeah. So
maybe that just
but
blocks
what's
his
the-
magic, just like it did on Deadpool when they had those neck bands that blocked all their mutant powers.
No, because the time stones don't work there, and they didn't have any magic bands or anything.
Yeah, and Sylvia's magic didn't work either.
oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Sylvia got in the, remember she got in the building, her magic ain't work either. So
Right. So maybe they just have magic blockers in the building. Maybe it's like cell phone blockers at the Vatican. You just need to go ahead and take them down.
They got some kind of dampener or something going on up in there. All right. B. Avery, I'm coming to you when I might should have had went to one take because basically his theory is all up in this. So Sylvie and Loki, Enchantress, excuse me, they're both outside, they're talking. He shows her that the time leaper is broken. And he's basically telling her, you know, maybe we can come up with another plan. She gets mad and a rage for vengeance and just stomps her feet and screams and let out a little bit of magic. But then they get to discussing all that they get to the conversation B. Avery wanted to hear. They wanted to hear, B. Avery wanted to know what was going on, a little bit more of her story. She wants to take them over. She has respect for his magic. B. Avery, break down this scene when they popped out the train and she got mad about the time device.
Yeah, I like the fact that she just wasn't playing around no more. She, as soon as she popped, they get up and they find out it's broken. She pulls a sword on, like, give me the goddamn pad. You know,
that's what she said. That's what she said.
Yeah.
No, she was mad. Yeah.
You know, like she had the knife up to his neck or whatever. You know, just like give me the pad or whatever. He like okay, and so he pulling it out immediately. You know, he realized that he took the L. But when it was broken, now when she did the rage green thing and powered up, that was dope. I did like that. It was like a DBZ power up or something, you know. That was cool. But yeah, man, like you said, I was waiting on this whole episode. This part right here, this exposition. They should have been doing this on the train. I understand you couldn't do it as soon as you got there because you know it was meteors falling from the sky, so that makes sense. But they wasted too much time to get to this point. But I do like the reveal. Again, we can say that Larry, the living legend, was right about everybody being a variant, and it's just very interesting. You know, I'm thinking that Mobius is from the 90s, and that's why he liked the jet skis so much. So I love this. Was the best part of the episode because it's actually what I wanted to see. So absolutely,
and I think that the whole story about Mobius and the jet ski and that being a variant, I think he told you his story. I think he told you his story. But Larry, I'm gonna swing to you. How'd you like this dialogue between these two and the broken time pad? And are you on board with me and one take for one take's theory?
Yeah, pretty much. I think so. I think I'm on board. It sounds like a solid theory, you know. And yeah, I don't think it may not even be broken. She probably should have taken it anyways and just tried to use it. And she sort of believed what her eyes showed you, which is sort of, to me, it's sort of like going back to this whole idea that I have that she's kind of like the anti-Loki in some respects because she's so orderly about everything. Everything has rules for her. You know, you have to have a plan, and plans have steps, and you have to be on mission, and she's so orderly about stuff where Loki's just all about just, you know, like I like to call it free ball, and he's just kind of like whichever way the wind blows, he just goes that way, you know. And it's like he lives his life like he's commando style. So, you know, it's just that's the way it is. And I think if she were a little bit more like that, she probably would be thinking, oh, this thing might actually not be broken. That's just him talking craziness or showing me some magic. She knows he's a magician. So she should be questioning everything that she sees.
Well said. I'll finish it off with you one take. Give me your thoughts on this initial scene when Loki flew out the window and they're having a discussion.
Yeah, that was one of the things what Larry said is like she never grabbed the pad. Like you never actually got it to see for yourself. And like I said, like the dude is he's a manipulator. You know, he only shows you what he wants you to see, and that's what he wanted. He wanted her to see that it's broke, and her losing her like going off the deep end and displaying that power, and then sitting down. Now, I think it's the first Thor movie. Thor also has a scene in it where he kind of like loses his cool, and Loki comes and he sits next to him and he's talking to him, trying to tell him something he should do. That's the same thing that he does to her. So if you take that into consideration, he was manipulating Thor. Why wouldn't he be doing the same thing to Sylvie?
Damn good point.
Yeah.
Damn good point. I mean, he knows himself, so that's a great point. Wow. I'm coming to you, Larry, and actually it's a good time to come to you because you get to take another victory lap. Here's clip number 2 when we get the big reveal that Larry actually got right.
That young soldier from the TVA, her mind was messed up, everything clouded. I had to pull a memory from hundreds of years prior, before she even fought for them.
What? What did you say? Before she joined the TVA?
Yeah, she was just a regular person on Earth.
A regular person?
Loved margaritas.
I was told that everyone who works at the TVA was created by the timekeepers.
That's ridiculous. They're all variants, just like us.
They don't know that.
Yeah.
Speak on it, Larry. Take your victory lap. C20 didn't know she. Just take your victory lap, my brother. Jump on in there with this scene right here. Me and B. Avery was waiting for this the whole damn. Like, get to this part. Get to just. You could have had literally all their discussions could have been about this and unraveling what Loki's real plan is, what her real plan is, and what does she know about these damn timekeepers in the TVA. But Larry, take your lap.
I honestly, I don't want to take a lap on this one. I want to talk about how I just think this was a great little thing the writers did to sort of make us have some sort of level of sympathy or empathy for Loki and to further connect us with them, because it's like in that moment where he finds out that these are all variants and he says they don't know that. It's another one of those things where he really shows just in his tone and his intonation how much he cares about these people. And he's like, this isn't right. You can hear in his voice, like, this isn't right. These people don't know this. Like, they've been pulled away from their lives elsewhere and thinking that they were just created by these timekeepers. They don't know that they're variants that had other lives, you know?
Okay.
And you can hear the concern in there, which is really interesting, because when in the beginning of this, in the first episode, they talked about how, you know, he was sort of predestined to be bad so that everybody else around him can prove how good they were when he didn't want to be bad. He wants to be good, you know? Mm-hmm. And here he is. You see the goodness in him trying to come out in some respects, or actually coming out with his concern. And I just wonder if we're going to see any of that with Sylvie, because she seems to be the exact opposite, where she's just, I mean, we don't know what her motivations are for wanting to destroy the timekeepers. We just know that she does. But we see how she's sort of like doesn't really care about anybody. She's pruning people left and right, snapping necks of people on the train. She just, you know, she does whatever she wants with people's lives, where Loki seems to be much more, you know, he seems to be much more of a humanist, and I guess in a sense, and trying to preserve life rather than just randomly take it.
Well, Larry, he said the reason that there's good in him was because of his mother. That's what he said. That's what he told. That's what he told Enchantress. One take, jump on in there with this discussion. How do you feel about the big reveal and the exchange? She's teaching him enchantment, and just kind of talk about that discussion before they head into town.
Now, I actually think a little different from Larry on this one, because I think, yes, he's shocked when he hears this, but in typical Loki fashion, I think Loki sees an opportunity in this. Think about this. You have an entire organization of people who've been going off this whole moniker that they were created by the timekeepers. Now you have the ultimate information that you can hold over, and basically you can be their savior. You can be Loki is the one who freed the Minuteman. Now you manipulate that information, because I still think at the end of the day, Loki wants to be praised, and if he gets praised by those people, He used this information, like lets them know, like, yo, this is not what's real. The time keeps all that stuff is fake. And like you put them in a situation, kind of like liberate them in his mind. Like, they don't serve up both of you. And that's what he wants.
Okay. Hey,
I think it could be both. I think it could be both. I think he could want to use the information, and he can be concerned with them.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm gonna come to you, B. Avery. I'm gonna follow up with one take. With us just knowing Loki, we've got MCU history on Loki. He's got this big ball of knowledge. Do y'all not remember the time he sent Odin away and he pretended like he was Odin? Why would he not do the same thing here if he can ever get somewhere and figure out who's pulling the puppet strings and get rid of them and make himself that person to the TVA?
That's good. Yeah.
Give it to you, B. Avery.
Well, one take that was actually very thought-provoking, and I could see how it could eventually go there. However,
I knew it was coming.
I just don't think that he is able to think that fast in the current situation that he's in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying what you said is impossible. It's a low probability, but I just don't think. I think we may be giving him a bit too much credit. Could that cross his mind? Like, wait a minute, but yeah, that was just too much information for him to process at that time. For him to be like, wait a minute, they are variants. I can take advantage. But maybe. I'm not an Asgardian. Another thing is, how does Sylvia know this? I just got to think about it. How does she know? How would she know this information and nobody else knows? It's not like she didn't succeed on her mission. It'd be different if she went through the elevator or whatever, and then, oh snap, because Mobius ain't never met the timekeepers. We don't know if Ravonna actually has. They could have just been talking through radio or Insta chat or something. We don't know. And so if it was revealed that Sylvia got some information that they didn't, then okay. But they're gonna really have to come through with this reveal, man, on how she found out this information, how it all plays out. But this is the best scene of the episode by far. Loki was shook as well as I. And when it was, everybody's a variant, you know what I'm saying? And so I liked it a lot. This should have been at the very beginning of the episode instead of the very end. And I'm gonna keep saying that. But
listen, I think it's one of those situations like BA we were talking about. Once you get into this dialogue, you kind of have to keep you said you gave us this information, but you gave us nothing beyond that. And I think if any of us was in Loki's situation and she tells us that, like, well, how you know that? Like, where you get that from? Who told you about that?
I think that it, like y'all said, we might be giving Loki too much credit. But do you guys remember Enchantress said that she had been working on this plan for hundreds of years. And if she went inside the brain of C20, y'all don't think that she went inside the brain of some of the other ones prior to C20 and figured out and seen, maybe the minute they created a Nexus event and became a variant? I mean, when they popped Loki,
good point.
When they popped Loki in there to chase her down, she automatically knew he was a variant working for the quote unquote TVA. She knew that. Now we didn't know how she knew it, but now we do. So maybe in the past she's read some other people's minds, put them under her Enchantress abilities, and figured that out. But the thing is, if she's been working on this plan 100 years and she's done this with people over and over, like I'm with B. Avery. You know a whole lot more than what you're telling us. You know a whole lot more. And
we also saw in the past episodes that there were multiple Lokis that had been variants, and they showed all those different style of Lokis. So we don't know how many Lokis that Sylvie has run into and has had these same sort of interactions with throughout time, that may have been revealing little bits of information here and little bits of information here that they know, and she started to put all the pieces together.
Do you think? Let me ask y'all a question real quick. Do y'all think this is the
it.
first Loki that they recruited to find Sylvie?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
And that might be a big reveal before this episode. Before this is over, we might get to see at least one of those Lokis back as something to get us to next season. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. All right, now I'm about to swing to you one take, but before I swing to you, I just want to show you guys. This is the moon getting ready to hit the planet. Does that not look like Pac-Man or Ego, the living planet from Guardians 2? You tell me. You tell me. You tell me.
Ego for sure.
What I want to say, I'm about to nerd out one take before I give it to you.
Go ahead.
Now, I'm a science guy. My degree is in science. They said that if we ever go live somewhere else beyond Mars, it would be on Titan, one of the moons of Saturn, because it's got water, it's got air we can breathe, it's got rocky land, it's got all that. So I'm gonna give Marvel props. When they create these planets and all that, it just tickles my inner geek, because I feel like we are really somewhere that I've never seen in our solar system. So I just had to throw that in there. What I really want to ask you is this. Loki and this young lady are trying to get to this ark, so they can try to get on this ship and leave. There was planning to change the apocalypse. That's what they was trying to do, but they was unable to get there, and they're left standing there holding the bag. Break down the ending of this episode and tell me anything you want to fill in the gaps that we might have missed.
Ooh. Okay. One of the weirdest things about this end scene is that the people from the people from the Mentis are steady trying to fight them, which I was wondering to myself.
That was odd.
Bruh.
And I was like, why are they after them? They don't know, like, I'm pretty sure these are the same people from the train, because wouldn't they be on the ark already? Why are these people, they showed up, they just trying to run around and get to the ark, yet these people coming they following them into like stores and buildings and fighting them there. So I'm just like, yo, that is completely odd to me.
One take,
yeah.
Not to mention, y'all about to die. I mean, hell, as long as you ain't killing nobody, I mean, ravaging the store is gonna do what? You know, like what are you about to put me in jail so that the moon can hit me while we like
that was like weird. It felt out of, I don't want to say out of place. It's just like unnecessary. I think it just felt like, yo, we need an action scene to show off Loki's powers and abilities, which looked great, by the way. One of them kind of reminded me of the move Doctor Strange did at the beginning of Infinity War, when like he used his powers to push everything back. When Ebony Maw and the other guy, I can't think of the other guy, when they first showed up. So that kind of reminded me of that. It's just, I don't like this part. It's just, this cliffhanger really does nothing unless we have unless the beginning of next episode is pretty much a really good revelation. Because I personally do not think it should be a Minuteman or Agent Mobius or anybody to come back to save them, simply because of the fact that they were trying to get rid of them in the first place, and it wouldn't make sense for them to show up and save them. So this last scene just kind of felt weird. It just wanted to showcase a little action, which I enjoyed. But the best part to take away from all of this is Sylvia, when she pretty much just shoulders drop and she's just like, I'm done with everything. Now Loki got her. She's in his pocket now.
Not only did her shoulders drop, but she turned around and she stomped away like F it. You know, like B. Avery, talk about this tail end of this story. And Loki showing off his magic. It make you wonder his magic even stronger in this Lamentus.
Whack. I'm bullshitting. Well, first of all, we spoke about it earlier.
Gary's on some stuff tonight, boy.
I really did enjoy the long take. It was like one shot, you know, them running back and forth, trying to hide and stuff like that. You know, the camera didn't break. It was, excuse me, it was all one shot. But of course, man, I gotta echo exactly what y'all said, one take and Lamont. This shit was stupid. Like, they don't know who they are, why they fighting. And it wasn't the same people from the train. Like, you literally are fighting people and asteroids at the same time. Like, that's crazy. It don't matter. Just like you said, put them in jail for what? This is stupid. They shouldn't have known who they were. And so that was kind of crazy right there. But as far as Loki and his powers, when the building fell and he did the whole little move, like, or whatever, and it froze, then he shot it back up. I'm like, damn, this dude is powerful as hell. Why weren't you doing this before? You know, like, you could have did this on the train. You could have did this to asteroids at the beginning of the episode. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you know, messing with Mike. You know, could have been doing all that. So, I don't know.
Did it to your mic.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool, but I just kind of wanted a bit more consistency. It's the same thing I'm saying. But I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's based off your adrenaline level. You know what I'm saying? Where you're just facing imminent death, and that's where, you know, all the power comes out. I don't know, but I have no idea how they're gonna get off this planet. Please make it a good reason. Don't make it stupid. You know, y'all got a week to change it if you need to. Just let y'all know, Marvel Disney, if you're watching, don't make it stupid. All right.
Be able to coming at you. Let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm coming to you, Larry, for what you thought, but I was going to come up with a theory until one take came up with his, and I'm not even going to discuss mine now because now I'm with the fellas. I'm a little like, where do y'all go from this point? Like, you can't do nothing stupid. You and please don't do us the way they're doing some other stories. The first thing we need to see next week is what is going on with them. How you getting them? We don't need to see Mobius trying to figure out what the hell is going on. We don't need to see Judge Rabona put it on you, trying to figure out where they're at. We don't need to see none of that. We need to get right back here to this point and figure out what the hell is going on. Larry, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I have to say that this, again, like you guys were saying, it made no sense to me why they were fighting them. I mean, if anything, you would think that they would be fighting them, you know, to get to the ark and not trying to keep people from it. I mean, it just made no sense. But unlike one take, I'm okay if next week it starts off with Mobius opening a door and them going through it.
What?
You know,
you would be okay with that?
Yeah, honestly, because I feel like at some point, you know, I feel like Mobius and Loki are already halfway allies.
Okay.
And I think that if Loki and Sylvie are going to be allies, they're all going to have to work together at some point. And so I think this might be a good way to bring those three together, you know, where Mobius can bring them, can go in there, rescue them, and instead of taking them back to the TVA, maybe they go to someplace else, to another apocalypse someplace else that's not quite as extreme. And you know, maybe they go back to Pompeii or something, and it's kind of a joke where the people are like, "Oh, it's you again," you know. But something that way she can be like, "Oh, she's getting ready to try and kill him or something," and Loki's like, "No, he's cool," and then maybe they can tell Mobius about them all being variants, and then we can have sort of an established alliance between them. I feel like that's going to have to happen anyway, so this I think would be a good way to have it.
Okay.
But
okay. Hey, look, Larry, you done got too much stuff right this season for me to say no. I'm gonna just keep that thing real, man. And
Pierre's just over there looking crazy because he knows he's already seen all 6 episodes.
No.
Oh God,
I have not. I've only seen episode 3.
You know, we already see the special Negro dust glowing around you. It's just sparkling around your throat, man. We see it.
Lord have mercy.
I'm a regular Negro.
Now let me tell y'all this, and let me just get who you guys think what's going on with this. So every post credit they change up something. This was the change in this post credit right here. instead of it just being Loki, now they've got both. They've got files with both the Lokis together. So that leaves you guys to wonder who's checking in on them two together.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's telling you. I'll come to you first on that one, B. Avery. Who's checking on these two together? Is the man pulling the puppet strings doing it? Who is looking at these two together?
Maybe Ravonna.
Ravonna put it on you.
But
Okay.
I'm not that's a good question. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Larry, what you think?
Yeah, that is a really excellent question. Maybe Kevin Feige's a variant, and
Lord, here we go. Kevin Feige's a variant,
and he's putting files together for the TVA. I don't know.
What? One take, get in there, man. Save us.
I don't know if I can do that. Maybe that's the timekeeper's desk, maybe. But then at this point, I'm kind of don't think they exist really, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm questioning everything now.
I'm gonna go with y'all on this. Now, we talked about this theory last week. Actually, me and Larry we tag teamed this one. It was me and B. Avery. No, maybe one of us. And I'm sure whichever one of us put it together, y'all gonna chime in. We talked about the energy between Mobius and Judge Ravonna.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe them two put this file together. Oh man, I'm done.
Oh, good.
I'm done, man. I'm done. Maybe.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe those two put these files together, and maybe on some level that we don't know, maybe Ravonna kind of has an idea of what's going on. Maybe Mobius has an idea, and they decide that they need to find these two so that they can overcome the TVA as a unit. Because we know they're trying to turn Mobius more of a good character, and I have a great feeling that they're going to do that to Judge Ravonna just because of her background with Kane. So maybe these two put these files together and need them for something, so they're going to go after them in the timeline. That's my guess. That's my guess. So, fellas, anything y'all want to fill in the gaps for before we get out of here? And let me shout out the crowd. Y'all been excellent. We love all your comments, everything you guys are saying. There's no crazy theory that you can put on this thing for us. Keep bringing them and keep checking us out. Anything else you guys want to fill in holes with that you think we missed?
No, man.
Not me. Got it all, man.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to subscribe to everybody's channel. The new homie is One Take Big Dog. He puts out great content. I done went over there. I might pop up on his channel and throw some stuff around, talk a little trash with him one day, get him in some trouble. Because y'all know me and Larry, if we ain't good for nothing, we good for getting on somebody's channel and getting them in trouble. So check the video.
We will make your PG channel PG-13.
Yeah. I mean, my wife got me a t-shirt that says, "I'm the real rated R superstar." Rated R, not NR. Not NR, just rated R. That's as far as I go. So don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Links in the video description and on the related channels page. Till that next Sex is Hell video, which will be Friday. We'll see you.
Peace.
Peace. Good one, fellas. Good one.